Gotcha. This little guy caused me a little bit of grief last night. Hey. Oof.
Alright, last season's ugly potatoes, on small ones, just put them aside. They still are viable for seed. This one's got the eye, and I'm a bit short of soil, so I've got some partly decomposted grass clippings and put them in these polystyrene blocks. Continue until they're full. What's the worst that can happen? Potatoes. Just thought I'd give you a run through of the plants I'm growing. It's not everything. Everyone's pretty keen to see what is out there. I've got a little bit of everything. Yeah, diversity is king. To build resilience in your nursery, you've got to cover multiple areas, and I'll show you what I've got growing so far. All right, so this is what I've grown so far for the start of my veggie garden and nursery and food support species. It's important for any food forest that you have at least 15 to 30% support species. In my case, I'm going to use leopard trees. They are nitrogen fixers. That's what support species means. They pioneer, they grow quick. They either are used for biomass, chop and drop, and help the soil at the same time. I've also got some Wisteria. They probably won't go in the food forest because they'll take over, but they'll be around the edges in the nursery. I've got some lovely acacias. Got a long-term species, a Tipuana. Really important to fix nitrogen to help your other plants because you can't just take from the soil. For biomass, I've got sugarcane. Everyone loves sugarcane mulch. Pigeon peas coming through here from Hills Horticulture, thanks Tim. And I've got some gums as well that I brought from Platypus. I've got a lot of ice cream beans here, which I rescued from Zaytuna. Thanks Jeff, mate, that was a great farm tour. Happy days. I've got some Jerusalem artichokes in here for like the underground root zone layer. I've got turmeric as well. I've got asparagus for a berry layer. I've got raspberries and blackberries. I've got tomatoes. I've also got some Suriname spinach and some Egyptian spinach. Herbal tea. I've got lemon myrtle and something as old as the dinosaurs. I've got the oldest flowering tree in the world, the Ginkgo Biloba. Highly medicinal and can dry the leaves and powder them or just eat them as is. Got more support species down here. These are very bitter ginkgo, but you know it's going to be good. These are Lucina Seeds from Zaytuna. I've got the best nut in the world, a homegrown bunya nut. I've got feijoas. They'll probably be more for a hedge. I've got a heap of my mulberry cuttings and olive cuttings and grape cuttings. And I've got some caliandras coming through, another support species. Some comfrey, medicinal grapes and more grapes. White Chatu mulberry. I had one of these for the first time at Limestone Permaculture and it's like white chocolate. It's pure gold. I've got some ginger. Konjac, this is for vegetarians. It's a fish flavored root crop. It's quite unique. So that's going to be interesting. It takes about 3 years for the bulb to be big enough for harvest. My olive trees. I've got some pistachio nuts. Yes, that's the actual pistachio nut. More mangoes, an avocado back there. It needs a bit of propping up. Sorry, Tim. A little kiwi. As you can see, I've got a heap of diversity so far in the food forest with more to come. They're all growing really well up here with the amount of rain and the humid conditions. And before long, they'll be going bananas. Some Mexican lilies, Bachineria. These are really popular in landscaping in the cities with their blue-grey tones. Weird and unusual aloes. I grow a heap of silver spoons on the central coast. Got some pachypodiums. These guys really pack a punch. Look how spiky they are. They're a good structural tree, flower like a frangipani, and have a nice little white flower. Bottle trees, Queensland bottle trees. I plan to grow them in the ground. You can see some opuntias.
You can actually eat those too if you peel them and dice them up. I'm growing a heap of Victoria Reginae agaves. I've got some other agaves in here, my spiral aloes, a few different sansevierias, the Bantel Sensation, which is this beautiful white and grey, as well as the Desertii, which is like elephant tusk. Got the rarer one, the whale fin. Got a heap of Monstera. They're mainly going to be for the food forest. The older generation would know, not calling you old, but I'm calling you wise. That is an amazing fruit. Up the top, I've got a heap of my rope hoyas, cherry eyes, variegated rope hoyas. Over here, I've got bits and pieces, mainly indoors. I've got more hoyas coming through. Crinum lilies, I'll probably just plant them along the road just for some cover and some ground stabilization. Little baby watermelon peps. The makings of vanilla orchid. That is where vanilla comes from. Delicious. Now for all you plant crazy people out there, it's time to show you my rare plant collection. Time to repot my almaniais using zeolite, a bit of peat, a bit of homemade soil, perlite, and that's about it really. Mix them up and then I'll give them a feed of my liquid fertilizers. Oh, the smallest of the small. Nice little rooted variegated baby. I thought I'd lost that stem cutting, but good as gold. So here's a stem cutting. You can see the aerial roots have no visible sign of growth. I did these cuttings back in February, but this little guy, it's got all these little ones, and I'll try and just knock him off. Oh, got him. Look at that. Old stem, little rooted pot of gold. Pretty cute. So we've got a natural variegated Monstera aurea. It's got this lovely green variegation. I've got my stock plants of Standeliana. This one's got this sort of variegation. This one's more a mottled. Monstera Peru, Wisteria alba. This guy suffers a little bit with humidity, so I'm hoping this environment will do him well. I've got all my cuttings of my Philodendron Spartacus, which I just potted up. I've got a little Peru in there, a little cutting of the Monstera alba. I've got my cuttings of my Standelianas. Check out this variegation, pretty stunning. My Philodendron glorious, thanks Mason, good job buddy. At the back there I've got a Philodendron verrucosum. Stock plants of my Monstera Thai constellation. This one's got this creamy yellow variegation and it doesn't burn off as much as the white one. Down here I've got my Philodendron Spartacus from Living Edge Nursery, good job fellas, and a little Thai constellation there. In my prop boxes, little Spartacus cuttings, Raphia Dephora cuttings, thanks Martin, good job mate, and he's also given me a little Hoya Curtsii. The rest of my almanii cuttings, and I'm trying to grow some white sage. Over here, more Peru and Standeliana cuttings, more of the same. For you terrarium lovers, I've got jewel orchids, Lucidia discolor coming through. This is my rare plant collection. Lactobacillus, comfrey, turmeric, just a dash, banana flower, FPJ, ginger. Good on ya, Banya.